some people consider jiu-jitsu a hobby or a sport or an activity. That to me, jiu-jitsu isn't an activity. It's not a sport or a hobby. To me, it's a passion. It's a lifestyle. You know, it's an addiction. You know, once you get addicted to it, you keep learning and learning and learning. Some people say, "Oh, you got your black belt." I've learned more since I've been black belt than since I've started jiu-jitsu. I think, to be honest, I've learned a lot of stuff. So to me, I feel like I'm addicted to it. You know, I've got to go somewhere and learn more and more and more. And it's good. It's a lifestyle. Constantly looking to learn something from jiu-jitsu.
In 19 years I've been doing it, I don't know any other way. I mean, I could not sit behind a desk from 8 to 5. I couldn't do it. I don't know what I'd do with myself.
Keep it open-minded, for sure. That's number one. And then just keep trying. Just don't hold back on as far as training. There's a difference between going hard and trying. You know, you don't want to hold back because you're scared to do a guard pass or scared to do a sweep. You'll never get it. So you've got to try it to succeed with it. Failure over and over and over again.
'99 is when we started, like, officially with a coach. We started with a guy named Jack McVicker, and real big in the scene of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, still is, a great competitor, great guy. We started with him in '99. We had done some seminars and stuff before that, probably like maybe '97, '98, but officially starting in '99.
We did all kinds of other martial arts, Kempo, karate, Jeet Kune Do. That's where we originally started training from Jack McVicker and doing Jeet Kune Do, and then we transferred to Jiu-Jitsu with him. He introduced us to it.
Man, you know, when we started in '99, we opened our school in '96, okay? So he was 14 and I was 19 when we opened it up, okay? And at that time, Machado was the person here. You know, and Carlos is a super great guy. We really like him a lot. We have a lot of friends that train with him and are black belt under him, but we just kind of chose. We went on a seminar one time. I ran Jack and kind of hit it off, and we're like, hey, let's train with this guy. Even though he was in Indiana, we'd fly back and forth every 3 months from here. Okay, and we were 14 to 19. We'd fly out there, train with them, come back, work on the stuff for 3 months, fly back out there and train again, and that was kind of our path. And we just stayed with it, man. I guess Jiu-Jitsu wasn't really big then. I mean, you gotta understand, UFC was, I think, 1993. UFC, we went to the UFC I don't know if he did, but I went to it in Oklahoma. Okay, so that was like the third or fourth one where Hoist was fighting Shamrock, I think. So and it was so new, no one even knew what a triangle choke was. Okay, so you know, we had started out, and I thought, man, I gotta learn jiu-jitsu. So we scoped around, found some people, and ended up with Jack, and we stayed there and started training. But I mean, we started here. We never really went anybody else, and we just practiced and started our business and got the people to come in and practice on them and started competing. And then, like I said, every 3 months we'd fly out, learn new material, come back and train it.
Blue belt was very hard to come by at that time. I mean, if you had a couple of stripes on your white belt, that means that you're unheard of. You know, I mean, it's just black belts were unheard of for sure. But yeah, it was there was no color belts back then. Saw our coach every 3 months maybe. So he would come back, or we'd go up there, or he'd come down here, and he would give us like 1 or 2 things to work on. And we worked on one in particular position for about a year and a half. Just he showed us, you know, this is how you do this sweep. And we went back, we drilled it over and over and over again. And then eventually, you know, that became our game for a long time. And then eventually, you know, we go up there to attend some seminars, bring him down, and then that's how he promoted us to the ranks.
When we got our white belt, we had our white belt. Our first stripe, okay, first white belt, it took us 1 year and 9 months. 1 year and 9 months, man, to get the first stripe on our white belt. Okay, and man, it's not just a stripe. That stripe means just as much as my black belt does, man. Because we flew to Indiana all the time for it, and you know, I wouldn't take back anything. It was awesome because I mean, I look at it now, and I'm kind of hard on our guys living like, man, you've been white belt for 6 months, and you want a stripe, and stuff like that. So it's different, it's a different time period. But you gotta understand, even when we started training with our coach, he was we met Jen. He was a blue belt when we first met him. And then right after we started training, he got his purple belt. So you gotta imagine, and like I told you at the time, there wasn't a lot of people who were higher ranked, so purple belt was huge at that time. So he couldn't just come out and probably rank us right off the bat because he was a purple belt as well. So, you know, it was just a different time period. But I mean, we competed a lot, you know, all the way through, and we got a couple of our belts. I think we got a purple belt winner in Europe. We fought over there, we got a purple belt, and then a blue belt we got in Illinois, and then a brown belt we got in Indiana. So, I mean, it was over a seminar or him coming here or something like that. That's how we advanced along.
Blue belt was the biggest competitive belt, I think, for me anyway. We competed all over the place at blue.
You know, the guys I trained with under Jack's team at that time, I mean, they were all winning. We were losing.
Yeah.
We lost all the time, man. I think we lost more than anybody. But we never gave up. It was so discouraging because you fly. We went to the first Pan Am's, man, and that we went to was in 2001. Okay, and that was in Florida. That's when they had it there. And you know, I remember Jack telling us at the time, he was like, hey, because you could only wear blue belt at the time.
The white belt.
Then white belt didn't have it. So we were white belt, and he goes, you can wear the blue belt. And he said, hey, if you do well, you can keep the blue belt. And we both lost. Like,
yeah, he goes, go put the blue belt, or put the white belt back.
Give me the blue belt back. I'm like, oh man, that's horrible. So it's just a different time. But the tournament scene was cool. I still think it's all right. I mean, it's kind of like what you like. If you're into that, that's good. I mean, any growth in jiu-jitsu is important to me. I don't really care if it's point-based or submission-based or whatever it is. I mean, there's a hole for somebody in jiu-jitsu.
I like to attend seminars and pick up different things. Like I told you guys before, I like to pick up one, maybe two things from a particular position or attack, and I add that into my game. So I'm constantly trying to broaden the horizon, you know, just see different people, perspectives, and add that into my own, whoever it's under, no organization or anything. So I like to travel all the time and get different point of views. Leave your ego at the door, first of all. That's the main one. We've had a lot of people come in, like you said, over the years and try and test themselves or test us, and that's the main one. Also, just bring in any talent we can learn from, or our students can learn from. You know, that's the biggest thing. Don't be so close-minded. Be open-minded to anyone that can bring in information.
Just because you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu does not mean that you are a black belt in business, man. They are two completely different things. That's what I pass on. And another thing I say, go do it. Go do it, man. Go open school, because if that is what, even if you stay open 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it is, you may have one person walk in the door that had never done jiu-jitsu before that learns it and it becomes a lifelong art for them. I study the people that were successful in business as well as not just the jiu-jitsu community. I tried to figure out, hey, what are they doing? You know, and that's something you should look into. People that are doing it before you, that have been doing it, that are successful doing it, copy them, find out, ask questions, man. Like I said, ask questions, because you know, people will tell you if you ask. If you don't say anything, oh man, you know, they may not tell me if I ask them. You're never gonna know. Most likely, you probably won't make it. You probably fail. So, but in my opinion, for sure, I think you should open a school. I'd love to have one in every corner. I think it's perfect. I hope my students, when I'm dead and gone, they look back and say, hey, you know, Nick and Mark were really open to learning. They never put us in a box and said, oh, we could want to do this, we could do that. You know, I want you to learn from everybody. I want you to come in, I want you to share it. That's that. When I'm gone, I want to look back and know that my students are passing it on to someone else, because it's such a rewarding thing as an instructor to see someone's life change, especially with the beautiful art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is so rewarding, man. And I'm young to be able to see that. I can't wait to see what the next 20 years bring in, when people change and come in. I mean, anybody can do jiu-jitsu, anybody. And, you know, if they can pass it on and be so welcoming when they come in, because a lot of people are scared, to be honest. They're scared to walk in the door. I get people all the time. It's like, man, I dropped by your place for 2 years, never came in. Just didn't know I was going to get beat up when I come in. And I'm like, really? You get beat up? And then they come in, they realize, oh, this guy's really nice. And they come in, they love it right off the bat. And I want my students to be able to experience that and share that. I say, come in, you know, join us, you know, learn about it, pass it on to somebody else. Man, where else can you go? You see like 30 people in here, all different levels, just having a good time on the mat. You know, they don't want to leave, they just want to train. It's healthy. It's healthy for you, you know. And that's the coolest thing to me. it was such a great journey, and almost come up on 20 years. Actually, it's our 20-year anniversary. And it's like 20 years, all the things you've seen, all the people you've seen, the kids that come in, the adults that come in, the traveling you've done, all the times on the mat, how many times you put your gi on, step on the mat, how many times you put no gi on, step on the mat. I mean, just stepping on the mat for that long has been such an amazing journey. I hope if you start jiu-jitsu and you don't know where to start at, because there's so many people out there now, they say, man, I don't know what school to go to, whatever. I hope that people are fortunate enough to get a good path like we did. So everybody we chose was very talented, they still are very talented, and I'm so fortunate to have learned from them and to pass on to my students. Whether I don't train with them or not anymore, I mean, they're still a part of us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be the people we are today in jiu-jitsu.